Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. And as you can tell, just got home from the gym, and needless to say, I am bloody knackered. Absolutely nothing left in my gas tank this morning, and she was a sweaty session. Tried to record this video on my way to the gym, but it's just bloody blowing a gale out there, and hopefully it's not too bad in here. What I wanted to talk about today was a phrase that the Stoics talk about a lot, and that is Amor, Fati. I believe that's how it's pronounced. And Amor Fati is Latin, and it roughly translates to love of fate. Now, Stoicism is a particular branch of philosophy that I follow and have a lot of my belief systems probably have natively tied to, even before I knew about Stoicism as a branch of philosophy. And aside from part of my name being in the namesake, a lot of my friends call me Sto, and Stoicism is just very fitting. But it just resonates with me a lot on their thoughts and belief systems, and how that ties into my own as well. And Amor Fati being love of fate. Basically, what that means is we need to embrace and learn to love our fate and our destiny. So that's loving what has happened to us, what is happening to us, and what is going to happen to us. We can't change the path that we are on, and we can't, as much as we can control try to control our destination, it's ultimately outside of our control. It is within our control because we are the masters of our destiny, but we as humans actually, if you could predict the future, then you would actually lose your enjoyment out of it. And we are designed as humans, I believe, as the gods of this realm, to actually be surprised by our future. And that's what makes it the future. If it was completely predictable, then it would be boring and mundane, and we would just lose the excitement for what is to come. Because that excitement comes from the uncertainty, and there's branches of in science. There's concepts called the uncertainty principles, and I believe that is a fundamental part of our creation and our existence, and even our purpose. Because if we knew everything that was going to happen, then we could prepare for it, and we would actually not learn as much as we do. And I believe that our purpose in this existence is to make known the unknown and make conscious the unconscious. And if we could predict our future, then we wouldn't really handle the unknowns, or we'd see less of the unknowns. So learning to embrace the surprise and the bewilderment of what the future can hold for us, then we are really going to start embracing this life and embracing this journey that is our life. And that is a beautiful philosophy to live by, and it's just embracing everything in its entirety, good or bad, because it's only good or bad because of your perception of it. There's the idea that bad things are bad are simply because, as I said, just because of your perception of that situation. And I will talk about this until the day that I am dead, because your perception is your reality. And if your perception is negative, then guess what your reality is going to be. Whereas if your perception is positive, then your reality is going to be be reflected in that way as well, because it is just a mirror of our internal self. So, for instance, people, this is an example that I have used in the past, but there were people who were running late on the day of 9/11 to work, and they missed a bus, they missed a train, they missed the subway, whatever it might have been. And there are a number of stories of this happening. And that obviously in that moment, for them, that was bad because they were worried about what was going to happen when they got to work. They'd get in strife or they missed a meeting or whatever it might be. But ultimately, missing that bus, missing that train, whatever it is that prevented them from getting to work on time, then ultimately saved your life. Now, the beauty that can be found within that is we don't know whether something is ultimately good or bad, and again, everything is neutral, but we assume something is bad because of the immediate environment that we are in. But what we lose sight of is what's going to happen in the future, and what that is actually going to mean for us in our future timelines. And that's where the unpredictability, that uncertainty principle, comes into play. Who knows what would have happened to you if you didn't get that flat tire one day, if you didn't break your arm, if some catastrophic event didn't happen, you could be dead. You could have been seriously injured. You could have ran a red light and ended up killing somebody, or something absolutely catastrophic could have happened because of you being on time or some negative event not happening in your life. It is not for you to actually decide whether something is good or bad. It's your perception of it, but you cannot decide whether it is good or bad, because in the grand scheme of things, this universe and this whole entire existence is ultimately neutral. And once you start leaning into that, then you start unlocking a lot of potential, because you are going to be hindered by an event or something that could be perceived as a negative or a bad thing. So what are you looking at in your life that you are perceiving as bad or good? Let me know. Signing off for now. Thank you very much, and I'll chat to you later. As always, much love and namaste.